Hey, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Let me know if my sound is okay. If you can hear me clearly, if you will, and if you're in the chat, press one for me real quick. Press one if you hear me in the chat. Okay, I got a few ones in here. Okay, good deal. Shout out to Malika. Thank you, Malika, for coming through. I hope you're still in the chat. Shout out to 18. Blessings to you as well. And shout out to JBWR. Give me just a moment. I'm trying to download some video, and StreamYard has made some updates, so I'm trying to work through that. So how's everybody day going? How was your weekend? How was the weather where you are?
Early in the morning, me and my lady fight. Fussing and she cussing cause I'm up all night. I'm with Gail, bitching all hell. But see, I won't tell. I'm sneaking, sending her emails. Thinking I'm a lie, got nothing to hide. All I did was tune in, then I hit subscribe. She getting real jealous, all the tribal bros get us. Got to tune in and tell us. Gail got all of the fellas. I wipe my feet. I'm here for Gail at night.
Okay, so it's 20 and 2 where you are. Okay, WWR. Let me click this. I originally was going to. I didn't know if I was gonna be able to come live to do this show today, so I went ahead and started working on a pre-record, and I just stopped where I stopped, and then I'll continue from there. Let me go ahead and get it rounded up.
This incident sparked national outrage and brought attention to issues of digital impersonation, racial bias in law enforcement, and the flaws in school threat investigations. Today, I'm telling the story of a 13-year-old girl from Florida who was arrested, jailed, and branded a threat to her school. Only one problem: she didn't do it. Let's go back. Let's think back. Some of you are going to have to go back a little bit further than others. Imagine you're 13. You're sitting in class, thinking about lunch or your homework, your little girl, your little boy crush, or maybe that kid who's been picking on you. Now imagine police officers come into your school. They take you out of class. You're questioned, handcuffed, and thrown into a juvenile detention center. You try to tell them they've made a mistake, but no one listens. This is what happened to Nia Whims, a seventh grader at Renaissance Charter School in Pembroke Pines, Florida. On November 19, 2021, someone made violent threats online, threats to bomb the school, to delete students and teachers. These messages came from an Instagram account, and that account used Nia's name and photo. Law enforcement believes she created it. School officials believed she was dangerous. So they arrested her despite no hard evidence. Nia and her mother cooperated from the start. She handed over the phone, her passwords. They found no trace of the threatening messages, but it didn't matter. She was still charged with the felony and jailed. Nia spent 11 days in juvenile detention, a 13-year-old girl, no prior record, locked away, isolated, and terrified. Her mother, Leslie Ann Davis, said she was traumatized, emotionally broken. They stole a piece of her childhood. Behind the scenes, investigators were finally doing what they should have done before arresting her, which is tracing the digital trail. When they subpoenaed Instagram and IP address records from Meta, the truth came out. The threats didn't come from Nia's phone or her home or her internet. The digital footprint led them to another student at the same school, a classmate who had been bullying Nia. That student had created a fake Instagram account using Nia's name and likeness to frame her. Let that sink in. Once the truth was uncovered, all charges against Nia were dropped, but the damage was done. The classmate who framed her was charged with multiple felonies, including making false bomb threats, cyber stalking, and criminal use of personal information. The Whims family has since filed a lawsuit against the school district and police. They're demanding answers and justice for how quickly Nia was targeted, arrested, and labeled a threat. Was race a factor? Civil rights group says yes. Was this preventable? You damn right it was.
Nia Whims, a young teen expressing feelings of isolation.
I feel distance, like I really don't want to talk to anybody.
A mother's guilt.
To be honest, at first when the officers told me it's her and we have evidence, I was so against her.
Now translating into a fight for reform.
They introduced a shock to her life, and I'm here trying to fix it.
In part, Leslie Ann Davis explains with this civil suit filed against her daughter's former school, Renaissance Charter at Pines, and Instagram's parent company, Meta. Attorney Marwan Porter said they also plan to include Pembroke Pines police, saying school and police officials failed to properly investigate the facts.
They need to make sure that they do their homework prior to putting our children in handcuffs and locking them up.
It stems from this, Nia's November arrest and placement in a juvenile detention center.
So she missed Thanksgiving with her family.
At the time, police were investigating threats to the school made from an Instagram account with her name, later learning another student set up a fake account in her name to frame her. Their attorney says the experience of spending 11 days in a juvenile detention facility for a crime she did not commit has been traumatizing.
It was scary. I was scared. It was scary.
Police have said they notified prosecutors immediately after new evidence obtained from a subpoena exonerated her. Charges were dropped. and police say the person responsible was arrested.
I hope it doesn't happen again. I hope there is a change for everybody.
This wasn't just a mistake. It was a systemic failure, one that exposed a 13-year-old to trauma that could last the rest. So what do we take from this? It's 2025. Anyone can be impersonated online with a few clicks. By the way our schools and police handle these threats, still stuck in the past. Where was the due process? Where was the critical thinking? And why did it take days in jail before someone finally said, wait a minute, what if she's telling the truth? Nia Whims should be thinking about high school, friends, her dreams, not lawyers and not trauma. Not what it feels like to be locked up for something you didn't do. This case isn't just about one girl. It's about how quickly justice can go wrong, especially when bias, fear, and technology collide. What information did you notice that was missing from this investigation? What do you think was missing? I'm on mute. What did y'all heard the story? It was a short story. I kind of clip it down as short as possible. What information was missing? What did y'all not hear during the investigation? No one showed the other girl the information on the bully. Exactly. But you got little Nia, I think she was 13 years old, got her own video, photos, being handcuffed, taken out of class, being handcuffed by police and stuffed back of a police car. And her videos and photos of her face is still on the internet till today. But we still don't know who this little girl is. We can probably guess the race. Did anyone hear the name of the other student who bullied and tried to frame Nia for these crimes? Did anyone see a photo of her or a video of her being arrested? I thought they didn't video or photo minors, but if it was okay for them to do Nia like this, why didn't the criminal at least get the same treatment? These girls were 12, 13, 14 years old. If the Jane Doe is this conniving and deceitful at this age, what kind of adult will she be if she is not held accountable? She'll be a piece of shit for an adult. The family of Nia Whims proceeded with legal action following her wrongful arrest. In February of 2022, they filed a lawsuit against Renaissance Charter School, Meta, which is the parent company of Instagram, and Instagram itself. The lawsuit alleges that the school failed to adequately address prior bullying incidents and that Instagram allowed the creation of fake accounts impersonating Nia. Additionally, the family filed a notice of intent to sue the Pembroke Pines Police Department, citing a negligent investigation that led to Nia's arrest and her 11-day detention. The charges against Nia were dropped after investigators traced the threatening messages to another student who had created the fake accounts to impersonate her. This student, who remains unknown, was subsequently arrested and charged. The lawsuit seeks damages for malicious prosecution, the violation of civil rights, and emotional distress. As of now, there have been no public records indicating that the family has dropped the lawsuit or reached a settlement. The case remains open and active, with the family pursuing accountability for the harm that Nia endured. Some of you may be like, we ain't really come to hear about this. We came to hear how this story was similar to your case. Gail, get to that part, all right? Well, here is how this case relates to mine and could have resulted in my arrest. Because I, like Nia, was also framed.
Shout out to Nikki versus Nicole. She reminded me about this story. When it came out, this is a couple of years ago. When it came out, I vaguely heard about it, and then it just kind of went away. But when she gave me the link, she said, "Did you hear about this?" I'm like, "Well, this is a couple." I remember kind of vaguely about this story, but it was kind of and it came and went. And I was reading it and I was like, this is the same thing that happened to me. A fake account was created. And I'm going to break all this down, as a matter of fact, how this happened and how I could have gotten arrested because it was a fake account created. Let me go ahead and also, let me say, hi, shout out to Poppy in the building. Thank you for coming. I'm doing good. Poppy, how you doing? Doing great. Scorpio mama, we got to hold folks accountable in 2025. But you know what? What I also noticed too, Scorpio mama, is we pick and choose who we want to hold accountable. I'm gonna leave it at that. We pick and choose who we want to hold accountable. It depends on who it is. Hi, Miss Chelsea Lynn. Thank you for coming. Yeah, that was a sad story. Like, we talking about a 13-year-old being in jail. Was it juvenile detention for 11 whole days away from her family? She missed Thanksgiving because the bully couldn't leave her the hell alone. What A-Team said, I can't understand why she was arrested before an extensive investigation was completed. The IP address being traced, it always does. Right. It seemed like common sense to me. And now people want to use these VPNs thinking it's going to mask who they are. It's always what they say, more than one way to skin a cat. Right. That's a long time for a 13-year-old to be in juvenile detention when she didn't do anything. And you can see how she's mild and not picking on her at all, but she's seen, and I'm just going by what I'm seeing. She doesn't seem like would be one of those problematic type children. We've seen these little 13, 14-year-old girls, how they act. And she didn't seem like one of those. And she was bullied, right? They found somebody they thought was weak. Hey, how you doing, Kofa? Okay, you ear hustling. Okay. I hear you. I'm saying you hear ear hustling. You're gonna need to watch the screen for some receipts. But if you can't watch the replay because you want to see the receipts. It's gonna come together full circle for you. Got your receipts every time. So when the bullying and the cyberbullying in Nia wasn't enough, it wasn't getting her the results she wanted. The Jane Doe bully intended to destroy Nia. So she resorted to using Nia's identity and framing her by making terroristic threats to the school from a fake IG account using Nia's name, her face and her name. And that's all the police went off of. Oh, that's her picture. That's her name. Lock her up. All right. That's crazy. That is ridiculous. Like how the mindset of somebody this young already doing something like this, that's extremely concerning to me. I see they call themselves charging her and they're keeping her identity a secret for some reason. But I wonder, did she get actually arrested? Because they can just decide to charge her and just throw a little, oh, give her a little community service, oh, we'll give her a little house arrest, or just give her, was she not expelled from school? Like all this kind of like, what happened? I see you charged her, but what does that mean? Did she still get off? Did she get to go to the school as if nothing ever happened? Anyway, let me get to the part where this story is similar to what happened to me. Hi, Maria. Thank you for coming by. Good to see you. Good to see you as well. Lord oh, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Miss Chelsea says went through some serious trauma dealing with a bully on top of being in juvenile detention for that time. Right. It's like the girl is like, I'm going to assume Nia wasn't giving her what she didn't get Nia because she wanted to destroy her. For some reason, she wanted to destroy Nia. Like, for what? What this girl got at 12, 13 years old? What she got? She want to do all this to her. And like you couldn't, I don't know. And then reading the reports, it's like they failed, the school even failed because the bullying had been reported as well. So y'all just ignored the young lady. Everybody failed her here. Everybody failed her. And I don't think, they've been in court now a couple of years. It can take this long. Why? She didn't do it. You did. You was wrong. All of them were wrong. Instagram, the school, the police. They all know. It's clear. It's clear I might have to cuss today. You fucked up. Why we in court 2-3 years? Hey, Amanize. Yeah, it's funny how investigations drag on for us and determine where we're guilty. Right. You want to throw her right on in the back seat of the car. They did. They filed a lawsuit against Meta, which is the parent company of Instagram. They sued Instagram, I believe the school and the police department. I think they're suing all of them. But there has been no settlement. The case is still open and active. But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, honey. Okay. So all right. So do y'all remember? Yeah, they do take years, but I just don't get it. I just feel like it didn't take all that time for you to put her in jail. Take away from her family. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. But y'all remember, well, some of you remember, quite a few of you are not new, and then there are some new faces I haven't seen that may not be familiar with the situation. But those who are familiar with the situation, do you remember all those posts and the videos that were made calling me a stalker, saying that I was going to have my mugshot plastered all over the internet? They were telling people to go follow Cook County on Facebook because they're going to post my mugshot. They were saying I would be stupid to show up in court in Cook County, knowing I was going to be detained in court. They tried to intimidate me in hopes I wouldn't show up so they could win by default. When I pulled up in July 2024, there wasn't a warrant nor a team of attorneys in sight. In fact, she lost miserably because she knew she didn't have the receipts to back up the lies she told to get the first emergency order in the first place. Now, notice I said the first order. This is July 2024. We're now in May 2025. So that was back in 2024. There wasn't a warrant, nor was there a team of attorney. And so she doesn't have receipts to win the second one either. So of course she went back again, recycling some of the same lies, get a new temporary emergency order based on some more lies. Let me play this clip real quick to remind you of those who may not have heard it, or to let those who don't know up on game so you'll know what's going on. Shout out to XL Pro. Good to see your brother in the building. Gotta find the video again. I thought I had the video up. Over here, struggle streaming. Oh, you know what? That's the one I didn't download. I didn't download that one. It's downloaded now. But yeah, I was accused of stalking, falsely accused of stalking. And all this was because somebody didn't want to leave me alone. I cut her off in 2023 and moved on with my life. And they continued to harass me. They continued to bully. And a lot more things came out in the meantime during this ordeal. And I can't disclose everything online. It's going to state's attorney. They have this information. But I will show you, because this is I think it's my whole goal is to teach people some things, because usually when we hear about social media and bullying, cyberbullying, you think about teenagers and kids, because there are all sorts of resources for kids and teenagers. But you don't think there's no grown ass woman on the internet fucking with people, though, do you? But now that you see it with your own eyes, people just go around who don't have a life. They'll just go around messing with yours. And sometimes they run into the right ones or the wrong ones, depending on your perspective. They don't know how to leave people alone. Like, what is it with trying to expose people for something they didn't even do anyway? And it's like, when you exposing something, your life need to look better than what you're exposing. But what bothers me is the fact that we sit up and kiki and twerk in people's chats and their comment sections laughing when we don't know who the person who account we even on. You don't be knowing these people online. I'm over here. You got the people who don't even have no what, they homeless, teach you about real estate. And we sit up and we listen. They broke, tell you how to make money and tell me how broke you are. Like, this is what I'm talking about. So I think, and it's cool, it's all entertainment, but at the end of the day, when we put so much stock in the folks, we don't know who the hell they are. You never even met these people in real life. You don't know what you over here bandstanding. You go be just cheering and rah-rah for folks. Whole time they just lying. They haven't provided any receipts or any proof of anything. You said happened to you on your TikTok. What happened on your TikTok, Chelsea? All over hurt feelings. But I'm saying I don't bother people. Hey, Wally, how you doing? Good to see you. I don't bother people. I'm out my business. But the problem is they don't like that. They don't like you to mind your business. And if you fuck around, defend yourself, if they start lying on you and try to defame you and want to threaten you and want to stalk and harass and you defend yourself, oh, that's even a bigger problem. Because how dare you defend yourself, right? How dare you have a backbone? I swear, it's like, who has this much time on their hands? I don't know. But to remind those who maybe heard this before, and also to those who may be new to this situation, I'm going to play this quick clip. I clipped it down as short as I could. I ain't trying to be here all night, and this voice ain't easy to hear for too long anyway. But I do want to make sure I put a receipt out here so you know what I'm talking about. I ain't just here bumping my gums, just saying stuff. I'm going to show you a receipt.
I know everything that's going on. But if you go to my stalker's page, you'll notice my stalker hasn't said Daphne Sutton, celebrity podcast, celebrity, accountability queen. Notice you haven't seen it in weeks. So while they're out there calling me a liar, ask yourself why they can't mention my name. So clearly that court order is real, just like that warrant is going to be real. I know my stalker is listening to this video too. And I would advise you, stop talking about me outside of social media. I would hate to see you get a class 4 felony. All you can do right now is talk about me outside of social media and hope that it doesn't get back to me. But you won't say any of that out loud. You're controlled. And I know it makes you mad, but deal with it. And I am making sure that there's going to be a warrant for your arrest. So when you come out here to see me in April, they arrest you. I just want you guys to know that I'm okay. I don't need protection. And once this person has a warrant, because warrants don't happen overnight when they live in another state. I want you to know that my stalker doesn't live here. But if he or she lived here, they would have already been arrested. So when they live in another state, they have to cross the lines. They have to do other things to get the warrant. Unfortunately, that's how Illinois moves. But I've met with everybody I needed to meet with, and it's going to happen. It is. And once that person has a warrant, I will make it public record so that they will know that they need to turn themselves in.
Okay, so that's where she basically promised her audience that she's going to have a warrant for my arrest. And I'm doing all this stalking. I'm gonna be detained. You know, you heard what she said. She said it. I'm not, that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna be up here saying what nobody said if I don't have proof for that what they said. I went to Chicago. I called. Like, if there's something going on, I gotta, because it was like, I was like, why is she so sure I'm gonna get locked up? Like, what could she have done? Like, I know I ain't doing nothing. I ain't about to bother her. She be getting people all riled up, lying. I ain't bothering her. I'm minding my business. So I'm like, what could she have done? Why is she so sure I'm gonna get locked up? Like, I'm over here like, okay, so, because I know what you gotta get to get a warrant. You gotta commit a crime to get a warrant. So I'm like, I didn't do anything. So what's she talking about? Police don't know police don't know what you're talking about. Cook County didn't know what she was talking about. DA didn't know what she was talking about. I went to Chicago, walked in, walked out. And that's why I'm saying she probably just trying to intimidate me from. Look, if I had a warrant, I got a warrant. I don't have I'm not a criminal. I don't have a speeding ticket, but I go handle mine. I don't be out here, dodging my warrant for 2 years. But she was talking about put the warrant out there and make it public so I know how to turn myself in. Well, hers was out there for almost 2 years. She never turned herself in. She literally just answered to her warrant a few months ago. This is what I'm saying. I don't bother people. But for people to think they're gonna come back here and lie on me and I'm supposed to say nothing, then if I say something, you want to go to the courts and lie some more? I wasn't one with the warrant. She was the whole time. So what are we talking about? Stalking? Seriously. Yeah, and I just say they think they scream is gonna make it more, it's gonna sound true, but it's folks who believe this. People, oh, that's the queen. People believe that I was gonna be locked up. They ain't question anything. They don't question nothing. I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in the chat a little early. But yeah, I don't play about people just gonna lie. I'm on it for be some type of investigation. Child, okay. All right, shout out to JBWR. How you doing, sir? Are you in the streets?
No, not tonight. Not tonight. Not tonight. Just cooling out.
I heard that. Bree Davis says you're the stalker, but she's admitted to knowing everything you post, which would make her. This wasn't that weird?
Very much weird.
It was weird as hell to me. And in court documents, I'm looking at court documents when she's submitting evidence into court, and it's literally everything I post on social media. Like, where the hell is she got time to put everything in? And it's nothing. All right. Anyway, how you doing, JBWR?
Oh, just taking it in. You're a professional, actual celebrity live streamer.
Oh, Lord.
Just taking it in, man. Yeah, the thing that you're going through, very similar to this young lady. Very, very, it's absolutely madness, man. So many balls have been dropped, and you would expect law enforcement and any sort of authority figure to actually do their due diligence.
Right.
It would be impossible to find, or very hard to find, any adult without at least Facebook or even Instagram. So these people would have some idea of what social media is. And a person would be hard pressed to not know anything about online bullying. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's very strange, given these ideas, these concepts, how could anyone just take anybody else's, word for it? I've seen guys selling how to pick up chicks online, and be some of the ugliest dudes ever. So that doesn't make sense. Who fact checks these guys? But yet they have large followings. It's almost it's more easier to just believe a lie. You get it?
Mm-hmm.
You get it? It's almost like it's too much effort to ask the question, like, is this even true? You could have done time. If you didn't stand up and fight for yourself, man, you could have done time.
Yeah, I'm gonna show them how. This is just gonna be. I'm just gonna show one instant where she tried to frame me to get me arrested. I have several of them, but I'm not gonna show up tonight. They'll be in the hands of the DA. And it's like, I don't believe she thought this was okay.
How could any of it be okay?
Right. And then for her audience or her fans or whoever they call themselves to think it's all right for them to for somebody to lie on you. But holding me accountable for what? What am I being held accountable for?
For talking up for yourself. It's absolute. I don't throw around this word too often, but it's retarded, right?
Yeah.
My whole day to day is systems, right? Is it working? Is it not working? Does this make sense? Does this not make sense? And a lot of corporate America, even retail business, operate in this fashion. Are we making sales or aren't we making sales? Is this thing online or isn't? Isn't it? Right? And it's the what do you call it? It's the usage. Whether this thing is operational or not, that makes sense. And no one asks that question. No one looks at the opposite side. Everything's cause and effect.
Exactly. So what had happened, y'all? I'm trying to make sure I put this in chronological order so everybody can keep along. There was an account on YouTube. They started commenting a lot in my comment section quite regularly. And I'm okay, they say something, whatever. I like their comment and move on. I may respond and move. I'll usually, if it's one of those kind of engagement type posts, I'll respond. They were in my chat, a live chat, I think 1 or 2 times. They never came up on the panel though. So this account said, "Oh, I follow you from TLA. Y'all know the lead attorney. I was his very first mod. I'm still his moderator." Yeah, if you know me, I know who be in his chat. All the thousands that be in his chat, I'm gonna know a name, right? I'm gonna know a name. I'm gonna know a profile picture. I'm gonna know a name. Something gonna click. She wouldn't have told me that she was from TLA, but she thought by saying that, "Oh, TLA, you automatically you in the door." No, but I just okay. Good. Thank you for welcome. Thank you for supporting. So this account name was Keosha at Kiki, which is at KEEKI 2024 or something like. I'm gonna show it to you.
Okay.
So one day I had made a post, a little cute little. It may have been a poll. I can't remember if it was a poll or a post. Oh. And she said, "If I guess who it is, can I get a Starbucks gift card?" Well, folks who've been around for a while know sometimes I'll give people a gift card because I've done Father's Day gift cards. I've done just like a giveaway. I'll just do that. So I'm like, okay, maybe she probably, know about my little gift card thing. I was like, okay, I give you a gift card. Like it's not a contest though. I'm not trying to, there's nobody this post is not by anybody particular. It's a basic post. So I told her, email me. She emailed me. And she said, I ought to pull the email up because I don't want to, so many words saying something about Daphne. And you can tell when people trying to bait you in to say something. And I said, hey, give me a call. And so before I knew it, before I replied, she had said something about she found her husband. I'm like, wait a minute, what you doing? Like, no, she talking about she want to go find Daphne's husband. I'm like, why would you do this? I'm like, well, let me pull the email up because now I want to. I'm like, well, because when she emailed me, let me find her. When she emailed me, I didn't get the email when she sent it. I got it like hours later.
So this person pops up out of the blue, very suspect history, trying to bait you into doing something else, trying to get you involved in something.
Right.
It's kind of like a fault. It's kind of like getting this person is obviously trying to get you to incriminate yourself, to do something that is out of your norm.
Right. She said, I messed up and trolled her a little bit, and now she is saying I will be put on a court case. Should I be worried? I'm going to delete my comments now. Can she see your page? Will she know I support you? I said, no, you don't have to delete your comment. I said, give me a call. And she gave, and then it took a long time to comment, but see, like she went and did that on her own. What you going over there trolling her for? Why would you go over there and troll her for?
and then come at you for a course of action.
Right. I want to be on a court. I'm like, what? Give me a call. I mean, let me see her. That was at 7:06. No, what did she say? No, it was a time frame. It was at 10:39. No, at 10:39, she said, okay, she went and found her husband. She said his name is gave her husband's name. I found his Facebook at 10:39 a.m. At 6:50, I'm like, oh, that later that night, I'm like, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you what I said. Okay, I'm going to just tell you what I said. I think she runs his social media. So if you reach out to him, she'll be the one responding. Don't even worry about it. She'll be exposed soon enough. In the meantime, I will lock down my social security. I will lock down your social media to friends only and put a freeze and alert on your credit report. That's what I told her. Why would I tell her to do that?
Inquiring minds would like to know.
I'm not even gonna go into all that right now. I think I kind of mentioned it previously, and I mentioned it in court. But like this girl just like, wait a minute, why would you do that? I didn't tell you go to nobody's page and picking up her husband. What are you talking about? And so I told her, call me. What would you delete your comment? No, you can delete your comment. I mean, you can if you want to, but why? And I told her to call me. She said, give me a few minutes. Now, a few minutes turned into a couple of, it took a while for her to call me because this is where they were trying to get that fake number together, find somebody to call, pretend to be this Keosha. So she called. I recorded the conversation.
What she said during the conversation, Gail? Cliff notes. Don't incriminate yourself.
I ain't got listen. I don't have anything to hide. That phone call is two ways. I'm on there, she on it. I ain't even edited or nothing. I will play that phone call, and I'm like, it was so obvious that she was trying to get me this. Like, what is she? Oh my God! I really want to play this. I kind of want to play this call, but I said I was gonna leave it alone, leave the call alone, and just show the accounts and stuff. It's so stupid. And then she started sending these long ass text messages. Like, I don't read books, but I read all her long text messages. It was clear as day that she was trying to frame me to get me to do something. To try to get, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you calling yourself, you defending me? Like, defending me for what, ma'am? You don't even know me. And come out, she needs something against Daphne to take to court. Like, ma'am, you're not even in court. What are you? Let me just get to the let me get to the accounts. So what I did, I found the real person. This person's name and real face was used to create this YouTube account. I found the real person. I spoke with the real person and her boss. Her boss.
How did you find the real person, though?
I ain't gonna get into it.
You're an actual detective, then.
All I'm gonna say is it's a real person, and it was not her on using the account, and it was not her who emailed me, and it was not her who called me. I knew all these things. I already knew all of this.
Hey, let me ask you this. So you got one person impersonating someone else, right? You've confirmed that the person who's reached out to you, that this is, presumably a bogus account, right? How were you able to validate the actual Keosha, the actual person?
I ain't gonna tell you.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I ain't gonna tell you. I ain't gonna say everything, but we'll show you these messages. I will show you these. Let me ask you this right here, JBWR, because I think you're a little, you kind of savvy on that part about social media. And in the chat, if y'all know the answer, chime in or call in. Salute. Good to see you, Vaughn. Good to see you in the chat. Salute. Sale in the building. I don't want to leave it at my chat. I'm so sorry, y'all. I wasn't ignoring y'all. You said, yeah. So Chelsea, were you able to get that resolved? Hope you ever get resolved. But let me say, okay, so if you're in say you're on, let's say we're gonna say YouTube, because it's happening on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Listen now, y'all in the chat. You're on YouTube. You're in the comment section. And somebody makes a comment. Okay. And you reply to that person's comment, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you reply to that person's comment, it tags the person you're replying to, correct?
Yes.
I see you. I'm trying to see the chat. They listening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the chat. I don't know if they caught up, but if you make a comment in the comment section, someone replies to your comment, and it usually tags your name in the comment. Right? Okay. Oh, let me find it here. I don't even have this in order, but I'm finna put it together for you real quick. Promise it's gonna be quick. Oh, but my screen share. All right, if you're in the chat, look at the screen for me if you can. If you're driving, y'all watch the road. Watch the road if you're driving, okay? All right. Now here is now the Kiosha said she over there trolling Daphne. I ain't tell her to go troll nobody. I'm over here. I don't know what I was doing that day.
Hey, can you zoom in?
Nobody. I'm gonna zoom in.
Okay.
I just want to show y'all it's a whole thing. And I got the video recording of it as well. But this is a whole comment section where she said she went over there and trolled her. And so, now I remember. T-shirt and panties. So
T-shirt and what?
I'm gonna read the comments. Can y'all see the comments pretty good? I'm trying not to go too far in her face because this is a real person and she don't have anything to do with this. But it's cool. It's gonna be taken care of. I'm not sure whose comment it is right here. Hold up. Up to somebody saying again, happy birthday. Then definitely says they're trolling. Will give him or her opportunity to explain. I know who's behind this. So definitely saying she knows who's behind this. And then Kiki, this is the person, Kiosha, who's the person who was pretending to be a fan. She said T-shirt and panties, ? And then definitely says, what does that mean? Let me know just a little bit more. This guy, whoever this FBA, whoever this person is, that name, that person tagged Kiki, right? A Kiosha, right? Y'all see? You see how it was lit, how it was highlighted?
Mm-hmm.
That means he was replying to her.
Right.
So when he replied to her, her name was, highlit. So it could give her a notification that she got a reply. And this person said, if you have some sort of accusation, make your words clear and stand on it, not vague like you are trying to practice deception. Just remember this guy, FBA, whatever that name is, tag Kiki saying these words. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We go to the other screen.
It's too easy to make these fake accounts, man.
It is, but you see that Instagram is in trouble for allowing an account to be a fake account. This is why I need to go ahead and everybody need to be verified.
Yeah.
All this VPN and all this. No, you on here, you want to use an account to harass people with, you need to be held accountable. So all this hiding, no. Say with your chest. So okay. So y'all saw, I just want to make sure you, whoever may watch the screen, if you're able to see the screen, you saw the comments. You saw Kiki is her ad. Kiosha was her name above the ad. You know how it is on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw that guy saying whatever he said. He tagged her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to show you this screen right here, which is a full screen of my screen. Let me zoom in some more. What does it say in the URL?
Oh.
What does that URL say?
It says at Kiki 2024.
Okay, but what does it say right here?
Yup. 2024.
Okay. This is the same account belonging to Kiosha, Kiki 2024. After I made a post about identity theft, the account name was changed to hide the fact that they used someone else's ID and face to stalk and harass me. You create an account on social media, it doesn't automatically change everything right away.
No, it doesn't, man. There's a lag.
There's a lag. And because I knew it was some bullshit anyway, I watched it. And I kept this tab open. And so Kiki was still in the URL. Kiki's link still worked, but when I came to Kiki's link, it said this. And the next day, after it became permanent, it changed to this account all the way together. All right, show you something else. I hope y'all are keeping up with me. I hope I'm not losing nobody. All right. Let me find the video. I'm sorry.
You know, when people keep making these random accounts, man, it's almost like they're trying to disguise, you know, like a 1980s disguise. Like ain't nobody gonna figure out it's you.
They on some bull. Mm-hmm.
Straight up bull, man.
You know
Sitting around wasting folks' time.
Do I already have? Let me see.
You know, if you weren't actually paying attention, this could have, you know, it could have just got by you. You know?
Oh, here we go. We got it. Got it right here. This is actually a video recording, but I'm on Zoom. Can I zoom in? Will let me zoom in? It won't let me. Maybe this. You won't let me zoom in. I tell you what, I'll take a screenshot of it. Kind of trying to see this. It won't let me zoom in on it. Y'all can see it, can't you? Let me zoom in though. Let me just zoom in. I want you to be able to see this very clearly. Because you already saw where that comment was made and they tagged Kiki 2024. Right? Y'all saw that. You saw the person who replied, and they replied to Kiki. So we're gonna show you something else now. Here we go. All right, here we go. What about now?
Yeah.
All right, you can see this pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I see? This is the same comment. This is the same comment.
Yo, that's the same comment.
Why is it tagging Yup though?
Because it's the same person with the newer channel name.
Exactly.
Hey, for anybody out there, if you go back to the 6 minutes 21 seconds, you can actually see that same comment showing up here now.
Same exact comment. Do I have it? I can just go back to it.
Yeah, I just saw it and I thought it was interesting. I knew that line, clear and stand on it, was that's a telltale sign right there. It's almost like this person's tagline.
Mm-hmm. There it is. FBA wriggle, whatever that is. He tagged Kiki. If you have some type of some sort of accusation, make your words clear.
There it is again.
Then it said Yup though. After they change it up, it's gonna follow you.
Wow.
Now, I haven't gotten to where it could have got me arrested yet. I'm finna show y'all in a minute. Just bear with me. Because so far you're thinking this somebody I sent to her. Well, she already told people I sent people to her page to stalk and harass her. I'm finna show you here in just a minute why she thought it was gonna get me arrested.
Sorry for the noise in the background. My kid's big into Looney Tunes right now. I can't control the TV. I only fight battles I know I could win. So
he had some spaghetti.
Man, we both had spaghetti.
I heard that. Okay, let's look at this right here. Let's look at this right here. Okay, I get it now. Someone fed you a lie, and I believe I know who it is. We can do this two ways. You can email me, and we can speak like two adults, or you can be involved in a court case. Which one? And then she told somebody that that's a real person. I got it. Thank you. Then I guess she meant to tell her I see you in court. And homeboy, I think it's gonna be some type of video coming soon. Okay, it's gonna be a video, all right. So okay, we have that. I hope y'all were able to follow along without me losing you. Okay, so here is how she thought. And so this was October 20, some toward the end of October. Let me tell you, and these are just the once the account turned all the way over. It was Kiki, then then the Yup. I put the date and everything on everything. And this account is also in her chat.
Wow.
And so there was a police report made with Kiosha involved. This fake person now, somebody I really talked to in real life, definitely went and filed a police report and has Kiosha listed as a witness or something. Just carrying this lie all the way out.
What?
Carrying this lie all the way out. This date, October 30th.
Why not?
Dispatch, you know how it kind of they do have it redacted some. For a violation of order of protection report that was later reclassified as a citizen assist. So for those who are late coming in, the first order of protection, I beat her in court last year, July 2024. She went and filed another one, different courthouse, because she knew she couldn't take a L, and she'd been lying to y'all about getting my mugshot all over the internet. So she had to try to make it work, I guess. I don't know. So she went back again and got another order, false order of protection again. So when you violate an order, it's you can get it's a warrant for your arrest.
Mm-hmm.
Bogus is a bogus ass order, but it's still an order nevertheless. So she's gonna make up what else she need to make up and make y'all believe. Well, she could say anything to y'all at this point. Y'all believe anything she say. She would have told you anything. If I was arrested, she would have told you anything to say this is why I got arrested. She would have lied. But anyway, like she lied for this order and the last order. So anyway, this is October 30th, 2024. This is the next day after that fake Keosha emailed me and the fake Keosha called me. The very next day, the police report was filed. So it says violation of order of protection that was later reclassified as a citizen assist. Upon arrival, I spoke with Daphne, who stated the following in summary. Okay, so we're gonna go on down here. This is a public record, so she can say what the hell she want to say. She's gonna be online, and she probably at the police department right now. Well, you laughing. Everything I do is documented. It's just stupid.
It's comical that someone would go to such lengths to try to disrupt another person's livelihood, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, who has time to be spending, just filing these frivolous lawsuits, man? These absurd police reports, and then to pull in the fictitious person. That's another thing. A fictitious person that actually does have an identity, but you're assuming that identity.
Exactly. Just gonna read what homegirl said. So from these messages provided by Daphne of the conversation between her and Keosha, and at no point in these messages did Keosha state that she was sent by Gail to harass Daphne. It seemed as if Keosha was making these statements on her own with the information she had been told by others online. Keosha seemed to have done all of her harassment on her own will. Gail provided some vague information when asked. Based on the messages sent, Gail never outright told her to harass Daphne. It also appears that Keosha was content with speaking badly about Daphne until a court case was brought up, and Keosha reached out to Daphne and said everything she knew. Based off of these facts, I do not believe Gail is in violation of the protection order, as Keosha seemed to be acting on her own.
So somebody felt like doing their job.
Well, Bartlett has they have really been doing their job, to be honest. It's just that they're allowing her to continue to do these reports. This is probably paid 220 something, to be honest.
See, so that's an abuse. That's an abuse of the legal system. It's these sorts of exploits that cause the young girl, Nia, I hope I said her name right, cause her to get thrown underneath the bus, right? You got law enforcement, these courts, they're inundated. They're overwhelmed with court cases. So much activity in the courts that I would imagine that there's this rush to appease everyone, right? The first person that makes the complaint is the first person that's going to be believed. A hit dog hollers, right? So you get people constantly filing these cases. Who has time? What department actually has the manpower to validate these cases, to fact find? And that's what's being exploited. That's how come this young girl, even though her mother thought she was doing the right thing, I'm going to work with law enforcement, actually turned out to backfire. Because law enforcement was like, okay, well, we got her. Let's just run with this. If she's innocent, she'll fight back. And because she fought back, she's going to get paid. And it's the same situation with you. Guilty until proven innocent, essentially. The courts are failing. You've been caught in the crossfire. You've been caught in the snare of the courts trying to do right. And it's sad. No one's gonna believe you until like you run up against like a Danny Glover or a freaking Mel Gibson, man, was actually going to go the distance to find the truth, was actually going to do their job, man. It's sad.
Right. So she made up this whole scenario. Oh, you better, I'm gonna see you in court. Explain what you mean. Like did a whole nother post just to kind of put her on blast. No one she knew who she was talking to. She knew who this person was the whole time. And pretending, oh, I know who sent you. You was fed some lies and you was sent to me to harass me. I got you. I'm gonna see you in court. Okay, and then she said I illegally recorded Keosha. Okay, so now it's always illegal recording when somebody else is recording, but when she recording folks without their consent, it ain't illegal recording. Nobody at Houston HPD got consent to be recorded. But anyway, since I illegally recorded Keosha, tell Keosha to press charges. Tell Keosha to press charges. I'm waiting on Keosha to put some kind of paperwork on me. If I illegally recorded her, put papers on Gail. We know she ain't gonna ever show up
because she's not real.
She doesn't even exist.
Right.
And this is not even the first time this has happened. It's like other accounts too that I've documented. Like, who is this? Nobody is this stupid. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I watch everything. I pay attention to everything. If it doesn't make sense, it's probably, But yeah, so had I violated the order because she went in person to the police department. If I had violated the order, it'd have been. And so this is right here was September. So she had just gone to the other courthouse September 23rd to file another bogus ass stalker no contact order against me because she had been shot down so many times at the other courthouse. They already know what she owned. She went somewhere else, made up some more lies to get until she could get that order to go through. On the 23rd. Now on the 23rd, she already I have a permanent order against her, and she had the warrant, but she failed to tell the judge, I have a warrant, Your Honor, and I have an order against me. She didn't tell the judge any of that. Instead, she got the order on the temporary emergency order on me, albeit it's temporary, albeit it's temporary, and albeit it's what they call it, ex parte, and it still can be violated, and it's bogus. It can be all lies. Men know about this kind of stuff usually because men deal with it a lot because this is what a lot of women do.
Man, I was gonna say that. Women could just go to the court and say any old thing, and the courts just believe her. A woman could walk into the court and be like, "Yeah, he took one of my legs. And then the judge looking right at her.
Yeah,
I see two legs, but I'm still gonna believe this woman because she's here. This is her lived experience. Apparently, the courts just believe. There's no common sense in the courts, and not these days. Not initially, I should say.
Yeah. So that was September 23rd. She got Judge Greenblatt, I believe it was, to rubber stamp this order. Then here she is a couple of days later with this fake account, thinking I don't know what I was gonna do. Say something. I don't know what y'all gonna do or say. Like I knew the whole thing sounded stupid and staged. I'll just go along with it. Then they changed the names. Like y'all, you really got the wrong one. I'm just not that. Maybe the police might be a little slow sometimes. The courts might be a little slow. They're not aware of these kind of things. They don't understand how this works.
So the courts are probably anywhere from freaking like 10 to 20 years behind social media. No one's pressuring these guys to catch up either.
Right.
They're just gonna overcorrect. That's it. Anything that they see, the slightest screenshot. Folks are like they come up with these what do you call it? They can create bogus posts that they post on their timeline as though it's factual, and it's not.
She do that too. This is what I'm trying to tell people. Is she gonna lie like this to the court and need all these fake comments and she know who is in it? She's even. I don't even want to get upset.
Keep it together.
I didn't even want to bring Eno up.
Do you want to bring Eno up? Who's this Eno person, anyways? Keep it together, sis. You're doing fine.
Eno almost lost his life because of this bitch.
Oh my goodness.
Eno was a big supporter of Daphne. And she fucked over him. She exploited him.
How did she do it?
And then she get her ass online. She ain't did nothing. And then she gonna call the man, get online and still talk shit about this man. Call him broke. Oh, I had to give him money. Oh, I had to do this. He didn't have that. And he violent.
She exploited him.
She exploited that man. And as long as you get somebody, just like even with Rhoda, you're good enough supposed to hate somebody, everything you say, they'll believe it. If you're watching, don't even say nothing. If you're watching, don't say nothing because you know what she's gonna do.
It's like people are disposable.
But claims to be a black man's advocate. She ruined this man's life.
Oh my goodness.
And Eno doesn't even have a platform. He was never trying to go against Daphne until she turned on him.
Hey,
over a small disagreement.
How did Eno happen to come in contact with Daphne, if you know?
I know, but I didn't even want to even mention his name at all because I want him to tell his own story, but I don't know if he's gonna even get a chance. I don't know. Because she went and put papers on him too.
So Eno's an actual person?
He's an actual I met him in real life.
How did Daphne meet Eno? Did he tell you how they actually came in contact?
Yeah, he I think he was one of the watcher. He watched a different perspective on YouTube, and I think he always reacted to Daphne's fake content, fake text threads, and he subscribed to her channel. Thought she was a black man's advocate for black men.
I wonder how many other people have fallen for this ruse, man.
There's no telling. There's no telling how many people probably went to jail or got charges because of how she go in the police department and lie.
Man, that's got to change, man. It's too easy. It's way too easy for a woman, anyone, but mainly a woman, to just go inside of the police department and get the full support of any law enforcement department, man. It's way too easy. I'm all about women, being taken care of, defending the ladies and, whatnot, defending kids and whatnot. But it's way too easy for men to be disposed of like this. Under the gun always. And it's an unfair legal system that's supposed to be balanced. It is not.
It's not. But I guess I can, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have known that Daphne was out here using him to harass, because I blocked him. She used him to harass me. He gave me all the screenshots of her telling him what to go and say in my comment section until I eventually blocked him. She had him write a letter to the school to lie on me, a letter to just.
She used him.
She used him.
And then threw him away.
And I know some of the ones that she probably didn't, since he's no longer dealing with her. She always gonna have somebody behind him to do her dirty work. And they're out here thinking they're doing the right thing, and they don't think for themselves. And I'm just gonna let you know right now, if you're one of those people, she see you as weak. You ain't shit to her. She see you as a weak bitch or a weak dude, and you ain't shit to her. I'm telling you now. You thinking you're doing her a favor, or you, oh, you know, you're the team, whatever that crap she whatever it is, you're not shit to her. So if you're gonna try to stalk me and these little stupid phone calls and try to fuck with my daughter and shit like that, and think she's gonna throw you under the bus. She's gonna claim she ain't nothing to do with it. I'm telling you now. If it wasn't for Eno and that little them falling out, I would not have known that she was sending my daughter pics. She was sending my daughter's pictures to some dudes.
Serious?
She sent my daughter. She sent Shauna Ward. She sent her pictures to Eno. Who else the fuck has my daughter's pictures? First of all, I don't know Daphne. She don't know me. My daughter don't even know her either. So why are you all on my why is she all on my daughter's social media getting her photos from everywhere?
See, it doesn't matter. Like
social media getting her photos and sending them to people. Oh, she live alone. Why are you telling people? Why is she telling people that people live alone?
That's just downright evil, man. Even if you beefing in reality, man, kids are off limits. If you got a problem with someone, you know, take it to that person. You just don't go after the kids. That's no bueno, man. That's just downright despicable. Who does that?
But she'll lie and say that whoever she need to try to, you know, win some points over, she'll say, oh, they talk about my dead mama. She just be lying. Nobody, that lady, nobody really care. We didn't even, she bring that up. And she lies.
And who's believing that? It seems like the kind of people that believe this sort of thing are you know, lack of a better word, they're simps. They want to be liked by this faceless person online. You'll never meet these. To all her supporters, right? If you just take everything at face value, you're less of a man, right? You don't operate in the realm of logic and, you know, sensibility, right? You're fully emotional and you're entirely reactionary, right? You don't think about anything. In any man out here, we always plan and execute. We go based on logic. We just don't take people's word for anything, right? Because that's how you start making an ass out of yourself. And too many people do that. Too many people get caught up doing that sort of thing. Too many men get caught up believing what the girlfriend says, then runs to the gas station to shoot up the spot, and then next thing you know, the girlfriend actually started it. You know, it's like there's so many examples of this sort of behavior. It boggles my mind that this thing still happens. We just believe and run with it.
And just run with it. It's crazy. It's really ridiculous. The link is, I think the link is pinned to the top of the chat if anybody want to call in. If not, I'm going to wind down. But I want to remind y'all of another thing, too. I might have to go find that clip as well. Well, let me just first ask you. I'm going to ask people in the chat. If y'all listen for me, if you want to find out if someone has filed for unemployment, how can you get that information? Put it in the chat. If you want to call the, you probably got to call the unemployment office. If you want to find out whether or not someone has filed for unemployment, how can you do that? Not yourself. If you want to find out if somebody else filed for unemployment, how can you do that? You don't know, Lord? Does anybody in the chat know how I can find out whether or not somebody filed for unemployment? JBWR, you know how I can find out if somebody if you say you had gotten fired and I call the unemployment office in your county, how can I call them and find out whether you lying?
Oh, how would I find out?
So Chelsea said, I've never done that, so I don't know either. Why would you do that, Chelsea? Why would you want to call somebody? Why would you care if someone filed for unemployment or not?
That's a good point.
I'm just asking. I just want, because I'm trying to get people to think before I just put it out there. How can you, well, first of all, why would you care? But we're going to, whatever, we're going to just say, if you're trying to find out someone filed unemployment and it's not yourself, because we know when you call, you said the government database. Okay, so how will you find out using the government database, Chelsea? How will you be able to find out if, say me, say I got fired and you want to call the county I live in to call and see if I filed for unemployment? How would you go about doing that? And what would you need?
Well, you'd probably have to pose as an employer, right?
Well, Laura said they also have to have a social security number.
Right.
That's what you gotta. I know it's been a while, but when you call, because this is unemployment, you can't be just calling and saying this me, and you gotta have Malika said social security number. Okay, I got no clue. Was it good? Yeah, I'm just okay. Well, so y'all ain't smart enough then, I guess.
This the B class, man. You gotta take it easy.
I'm just joking. But I'm just trying to get to see where I'm taking you somewhere with this. I'm just trying to see if you knew what you needed to do. None of y'all on the chat care if it might file for unemployment. Apparently, this is what folks who got lives. They don't care. I'm working or whatever. You don't care who filed and who didn't file. If they ain't in your household, right?
Right.
So JBWR, can you tell me, do you know how you can find out if I filed for unemployment?
Well, if I wanted to find out if Gail filed for unemployment, I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm drawing a blank. The pressure's on, Gail, and I'm folding like a Japanese lawn chair, man.
Okay, let me see then. Let's see here.
If I wanted to find out if I guess if I had enough time, I'd probably impersonate you. I'd probably use your social and check the status of your, of a pending claim. But that's just me. That's the first thing I would do. Yeah, that's the first thing. Yeah, dude. I think Malika Melbain, forgive me, good sir. A background check. That's probably a good point to start. Good place to start, right? Gail, you're muted.
I'm sorry. So Laura says you have to know someone who works for unemployment, I guess.
Oh, it's an inside job.
But that's an inside job. Yeah. And so I just want to, I'm taking y'all somewhere. All right. And I mentioned this back when it happened, but people, we really let stuff go too easy. We don't really pay a lot of attention. Our attention span kind of short sometimes. We just kind of we hear things and then we don't hear it anymore. So I want to remind you of this.
All over social media, and everyone heard this story about him getting fired after doing the dating show, that they felt inclined to donate money and continue to make him more viral than he was at the moment. I did not talk about it initially because I wanted to investigate before I started to support someone who's telling us a story that is so believable that you want to donate. So what I first did, NTR, is when he created the GoFundMe a week ago, I looked at the GoFundMe and he emphasized that he does humanitarian efforts to single mothers.
Okay, she's talking about Aaron the plumber. Y'all remember Aaron the plumber? So she said she did some investigation. So we're gonna see about her what investigation was.
Fathers, veterans, disabled, and it didn't sit right. He bolded only that part because when you're reading the whole paragraph, you're inclined to go right to the bolded part.
That's
This
not
man
true.
is helping out veterans and people that need his help, and so I need to donate. And I just felt like that kind of reminded me of Rhoda Osmond. I said maybe they're related. Maybe this is her cousin because this is so believable. So I did my research. When I went to Aaron's Facebook, I noticed that everything on his Facebook was about him, his body, working out,
Why wouldn't it be? It's his Facebook.
doing push-ups, everything related to fitness. I was looking even for the picture he used on GoFundMe of him in his uniform. There was no videos, no posts of any of this humanitarian work that he's being praised for. I'm sure a veteran or a single father or a single mother or a disabled person would have said, hey, this man helped us in our time of need. But I didn't see not one receipt. So we know that a lot of his exes came out and they gave us a little bit of tea, and that helped me to do more research on him. When I did a check on Mr. Sloan, I didn't see a license on file that's connected to his information. And being in education over 11 years, we know all about education. It's linked to your social. If you got a license, if you got a degree, it's going to pull up in any background check. Don't see never even saw a post.
So you're saying if you're certified, it's easy to find these things. It's like probably like a database that you can go into to assure that he's certified. Is that what you mean?
That is correct, MTR. Like if I was,
Are y'all following along? I don't want to lose y'all.
I
There's
want
a
to
database.
do a facial. I'm going to go to a licensed esthetician.
Not making
But before I get her services, I'm going to verify that she does have an active license in that state. Anytime you sit for a license or you sit for or any exam, it's going to be public record. I just didn't see one for him.
And now, did you not see one at all, or did you not see one that was currently active?
I did not see one at all. What I did see.
Well, he did have a license, and I saw the license 2 days before they did this video, but whatever.
Was that he did work for a LLC. When I looked at LLC up in Arizona, the person that owns the LLC is in foreclosure right now. So I thought that was odd that they had time to hire Mr. Sloan when they're losing their house. But then I did more investigative work. And
investigative work, listen.
I contacted a place that had the same name in California. And Hector said he never heard of him. Hector. So that's 2 jobs that I haven't heard of him. And that was the only job that was related to this man's information. What I did find was over 30 cases across many states. We're talking about Nevada, California, Texas, Oklahoma. He's internationally known, but not for any positive reasons. So it made me believe that he did not get fired. If anything, I would say that Mr. Sloan was into fitness.
Okay.
He's internationally known, but he's only stateside for some reason.
Yeah. So anybody who follow Aaron all over the place. You think he hiding?
He'd be an easy catch.
Easy catch. He tell you where he going, how long he gonna be there, who gonna be with. He'll post a live. He'll post a video. Where he at?
Man,
I'm just saying. So far we 0 for we 0-0.
And that was his job. He just didn't want to embarrass himself after telling those ladies he could pull $100,000 out of the bank. So he knew saying that he got fired would play on everyone's heartstrings like it did, and people were going to donate. When I first saw the GoFundMe after someone put me on it and I read it, I reported it. I actually sent it to a GoFundMe contact that helped me with the Rhoda case. So I know for sure people are going to get their money back because he won't be able to provide the documents. Another thing I did.
Well, he got the money. He provided what he needed to provide to GoFundMe. So, okay, so that's another 0.
MTR, just for backup. I contacted one of my people in Arizona. All
right, listen now. She said she just contacted one of her folks in Arizona. Let me go back.
I know for sure people are going to get their money back because he won't be able to provide the documents. Another thing I did, MTR, just for backup. I contacted one of my people in Arizona who work for the state in unemployment. And I just wanted to see if there was any claims for this individual. No claims have been filed yet, and it's been a week.
For unemployment.
For unemployment, sir, yes. If you get fired, you want to file that claim right away because there's a 30-day waiting period. He hasn't done it? Why? Because he's in the club throwing money. He's doing everything other than what he said he was going to do.
What? Why are we watching this man's pockets?
I ain't even got to say anything. I'm trying to find out what connection she got in Arizona who's telling whether or not this man applied for unemployment.
Jesus.
And everybody in the chat was like, how can you tell? How can you call somewhere? How can you get that information?
I think Lord Drag One Sama called it. You got to have someone on the inside.
And someone on the inside. Looks like somebody gonna lose their job then, right?
You would hope so. It's like if they're reporting to the psychopath online, who else have they been dropping a dime on?
Mm-hmm.
Just out here destroying lives for what? It's just, she's supposed to be a men's right advocate, right? A men's health advocate. So is MTR.
Well, long as you're kissing her butt, but as soon as you disagree or just in a slight misunderstanding, you're on the chopping block.
Damn.
You seen that? You see how she did? Like that. He's like unproblematic.
It's like she's got no problem with this.
So I'm just trying to find out if anybody trying to find out how to get. If she getting some. This is what I'm saying. If they're gonna be able to do, she can be able to get information on somebody like that. What else she getting? Who else she getting it on? And who helping her?
Yeah, it I don't want to make it seem like Daphne's this unstoppable force of nature, but the arrogance of putting this online to saying it to countless accounts, man. That's narcissistic, man. Eventually, this is gonna bite somebody in the ass. Eventually, enough people are gonna see this, and they're gonna spot the trend that who's feeding this woman information. Why does she have such access to information, and who's accountable for it? Eventually these holes will be plugged, because the higher you go, the shit always rolls downhill, and nobody wants to get fired. Nobody wants to get prosecuted either.
Exactly. So I hope I'm able to put a stop to it. You know what, Chelsea? This probably will never end. After I win, we have court next week. This is her. That's all she know how to do. She's trying so hard to silence me, to shut me up. But why? Why? If she didn't do anything wrong, why? So, no one else is called in, and I'm gonna go ahead and shut this stream down for the night. I made my point. I hope I made my point. I hope I didn't confuse anyone. Y'all were able to follow along.
Well, I'm gonna get going. Hey, thanks for having me, Gail. Big fan of the channel.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting.
You have a nice one.
You too. Good night.
Peace.
And Marie says, "Oh, she's just a flat out liar because she knows nobody can fact check her." They can if they want to. People just don't do the work. They don't do the work. That's how people so easily be scammed. Like, you must like being lied to and scammed. These people believe they're untouchable. I guess so. Well, all I know is I'm not the one to just get online and lie on and defame and run the court and lie to the court, perjure yourself. I'm just not the one to do that. It's just for you, the people that just want to do that to me and just think I'm going to lay down there and take it, is asinine. But anyway, I hope you guys were able to follow along when I was trying to explain myself today. And I'm sorry I got emotional a little bit earlier. But you may need to go back and watch it from the beginning to get a better understanding of what I was talking about if you missed it. And I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. I want to thank you guys for rocking with me for the hour and 40 minutes that you did. Thank you for hitting the like button. If you didn't hit the like button, go ahead and hit it now. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down button. Engagement is engagement. Okay, engagement is engagement. And drop a comment in the comment section after I end the stream if you have any additional questions. If you want to ask me something that you don't want anybody else to see, just send me an email at gailatnight@gmail.com. My email is on my About tab. And yeah, any questions you have, I'm an open book. You're not going to silence. This is America. I have a right to freedom of my First Amendment freedom of speech. And I ain't had to lie. So if you have any questions, you need help with anything regarding this type of situation, hit me up. This has been Gail at Night. Thank you guys. Good night.
Hey!